What is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Smackdown Review Live. We are here, we are ready to get through it, and let's get into some of it. We had a very exciting night of Smackdown. A lot went on. A lot of it went quickly tonight. We had Roman Reigns starting off. We had Pretty Deadly making their debut. The Grace of Waller effect also made its debut to SmackDown after being drafted to Monday Night Raw. And we also had the first time pairing of LA Knight and Boogs. And then we will discuss at the end the great tag team match that was the Usos versus the LWO. So before we get right into everything, thank you guys ever so much for joining me this week. Thank you all so much for over the past few days. All the love and support. I have still got that cold. It's all bungy. It's there. It won't fuck off. Yes, so at times I might need to have a drink. At times you're going to hear me sniffle. I do apologise for that. There's not much I can do about that. But first, as we always do, hit my intro. Right, let's get into this. I see there is a couple of comments that have come in while we were waiting and when we started. Very sports entertained. Justin, thank you ever so much. You were here last week as well. Massive thank you. The support that you give me throughout all my shows means the absolute world. To have even one person listen or want to watch the shit that spews out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm trying not to get emotional. I probably will at some point. Yeah, thank you. It does mean a fucking lot. Turn to Roy fucking Kent. All right, let's get into it. Show went fast. Absolutely. I think you're absolutely spot on with that. And I think you're completely right on that. So, with the show going so fast, let's discuss the first thing, shall we? Right. On my phone, if I could show it, I will, right? I have notes, right? I'm putting behind the scenes here. And with these notes, basically is the stuff that I pick out on and stuff that I see that I feel sports entertained, as Justin likes to put it, and I love it. So we start off with Roman Reigns coming out, and the crowd was hot for it. Crowd was invested in Roman Reigns straight away. The booing, the cheering, the tribal chiefing, putting the ones up for it. Also, by the way, as well, if you haven't already, here is a link to all of my social media platforms. I do have two for these two. If you go Mark Talks Wrestling on TikTok, I am there as well, and as well as Mark Talks Sport and Mark Talks WWE on there as well. I am branching out and I want to do more different wrestling stuff in the future. Just haven't got the time at the moment. I want to do more Impact Wrestling because I like that. But the thing that's stopping me from doing Impact is Trinity, as she's now called. Puts me off anything. But yeah, go and follow me on all of these social medias if you haven't already. This is why it's here. If you haven't seen already with other videos, yes, I'm going off topic for a minute. If you haven't seen in other videos I've done as well, I've got a new overlay to all of my videos. That's down to Sai in the Tom Colohue chat. I'm going to see if I can put a link to that. I don't know if I can. Invite people. How do I do that? If you haven't already, I'm going to put a link in the comments for you guys to go and follow. I know Justin is already. I've already seen some of the comments. Don't steal my gimmick tonight. I'm watching you. He's talking about I'm going to go on a rant about the women's tag team in a minute. Yeah, I am going to go on a rant. So you will. Yeah, that's coming. So yes, let's get into the Roman Reigns. It comes out the tribal chief before he gets to really go into it. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens interrupt him and sort of come out and say, we don't acknowledge you. Roman wants them to acknowledge, doesn't want to acknowledge them, and says that the only regret Sami Zayn has is that Roman's saying the only regret he has was wasting his time on Sami, and Sami says that the only regret he has was not hitting Roman Reigns with their chair sooner, and also saying that at Night of Champions, Sami Zayn is going to show the world why Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are a better tag team. And they will show that at Night of Champions. And then the Usos come out and attack Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which, if you watch the ring when that's going on, I think a lot of people did when they saw it, was Roman Reigns' face was pissed the whole time. He was not happy with what with the Usos, what they were doing. He then had lost his temper, turned around, barged into Solo Sikoa, which then pissed off Solo as Roman Reigns then stormed out into the back, which then a little bit later on, at the back, Roman Reigns is talking to the Usos and losing his temper, and Solo, and I pointed this out in the Discord and I tweeted about it. If you watch Solo, he is non-stop staring at Roman Reigns the whole time. He has not taken his eyes off him, has not looked away from anywhere. I don't even think the man blinked during that whole time. I was fully invested into staying his eyes on Roman, which I think they're trying, and what I think WWE are trying to do is plant the seed of doubt into our minds that Solo Sikoa is the one that's going to cost Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. In my opinion, I don't think that happens. I think that we're going to get the Usos trying to help Roman Reigns and Solo, but costing them. Either by a disqualification, I think that's probably the way it's going to go, by disqualification, because then you're protecting Roman Reigns and Solo for not getting pinned, and you're also protecting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens by not losing their titles against the Tribal Chief. I can't see this match with Roman Reigns walking out with the tag titles, but at the same time, this is Roman Reigns, and it is the tag titles, the tag team titles he hasn't held since the Shield. He didn't hold it. No, he didn't hold them with John Cena. That was another tag team that held with John Cena. I think since the Shield was the last time Roman Reigns held the tag titles. So I am interested to see what they do with that, how they protect everyone moving from there and going forward. Let's have a look at a couple of the comments. Justin is ready with the cake for my rant. God, I hope he doesn't win 2 more belts. The only way I see him winning 2 more belts, yeah, the Shield, yeah. The only way I can see that they will get Roman Reigns to win the title is, one, it could build to Roman Reigns and Solo giving up the title. Okay, so I'm going to spitball here and tell me if I hit the mark or completely miss it. What you could do is, if Roman Reigns and Solo win the tag titles, you could get him to turn up on Monday Night Raw after saying, we don't need the tag titles. We just needed to prove to the Usos that we are the most dominant champions ever. And that's the way you can split the belts without giving up a championship and then keeping one. Or, yeah, that's the only way. I think if WWE don't want to go down the route of, we're taking back the titles, we want to split them, and the only way to do that is is to do it that way, then I would understand it. I think I would have more of an understanding for it than them not doing it. Also, what I've just realised, which is really bugging me, it says watch along here, and I don't know how to fucking edit it out. Anyway, back to what I was doing, and now we're going to get pretty. Yes, I did that, and I will do it every time while they're here. I am so happy that Pretty Deadly are on Friday Night Smackdown. As I am typing, so I do apologise if you can hear it. Ed will know I have a massive love for Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Yes, I did Google what their names because I completely forgot what their names are. Yeah. Right. So according to Wikipedia, right? According to Wikipedia, this is going to be funny. Pretty Deadly's names used to be called Greased Lightning, Pretty Bastards, and Pretty Deadly. Why did they never keep Pretty Dark Bastards? Yes, I know it's swearing, but at the same time. Okay, so here we go. So they were known for the 10 years in Progress, Revolution Pro, International Pro Wrestling, and IPW UK Tag Team. One time as Pretty Bastards, as the collective team up with James Castle as the Free Bird Trio. All right, so there was 3 of them, and they were all called Pretty Bastards. Love that even more than ever before. Anyway, we've got some comments while I was. Yes, boys, love it. And then Saint Floyd, thank you ever so much, Saint, for being here. That means an absolute world. If you haven't already, please go and click that subscribe button and click that like button as well to get instant notification for whenever we go live or whenever videos I do. Next week, we're doing more videos because I'm going to be doing my Raw, NXT, and SmackDown live. But I'm also going to be doing a Night of Champions predictions as well, and a Battleground predictions, and I'm trying to find a way of doing it, to go live and do a Night of Champions watch along, and maybe do a Battleground watch along. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it a little bit more. But yeah, I hope we get to do that a little bit more. But let's have a look at Saint Floyd question while I put on my specs. Pretty Deadly is great. I hope they find their final version of their character because their character. I feel insulted that you insulted the beautiful people. I think what you're going to get the first few months, I would say, for Pretty Deadly is the people that don't watch NXT, the casuals that just watch Raw or SmackDown, to get to know them a little bit more, have an understanding of them before they really sort of pick it up. Because I feel like what they're going to do and what they're going to try and do is get Pretty Deadly, the OC, the LWO, and the Street Profits all on the same level, and the Usos will be there as well, all on the same level, to then progress them more. I need a drink. I do apologise. By the way, not that you care, I drink and I know things. Game of Thrones. Yes, I watch Game of Thrones. Watched. And the last season's not that bad. And watch me get a lot of dislikes for that now. I do apologise. We got 3 people watching, 2 likes. Don't forget, if you're here, please hit that like button. Make sure you chat in the comments as well. so we can get more people coming in, having a chat with us about wrestling. And don't forget as well, all the love and support as well. You don't even have to chat if you don't want to. Just hit that like button. And then if you want to linger in the background and throw in a comment every so often, then go ahead. Saint, it has been, thank you ever so much for joining me today. That does mean a lot. Love that quote. Yep. Yep. I agree. Anyway, back to Pretty Deadly. So the one thing I'm going to rant about is Pretty Deadly's theme music. It is so generic and horrible for Pretty Deadly. It is unreal. They need a more personal. I know that there was a thing that came out, a report that came out recently that WWE. I have pressed a button. I didn't mean to. I'm fine. That WWE are looking to do change a number of different theme musics. I know Ed talked about this on his live the other day on the NXT review. Don't forget to go and follow our local establishment to go and get notification for when they go live as well, and enjoy a lot. They do lots of things as well. But back to this one. Yeah. So I feel like they need a new personalized music. It is so generic, and it annoyed me because they are such a good tag team and they are so great at what they do that I feel like the role they're going to have on SmackDown is going to be a bigger one that I think people are predicting. They're probably going to be at points where they're not going to be tag team material for a long time, but they're going to be a team that will be there or thereabouts where you have to beat them, and you will beat them to get a tag team title shot, but they're always in and around that area to be able to look threatening enough that they could be tag champions, but not threatening enough that they will. If you understand where I'm coming from, I think they're a great tag team. And I think the way that Elton Prince, during the first part of the match before he went to an ad break, I think the drop kick when Ridge Holland had him up in like the camel clutch, I think it's called, and the drop kick to the face busted him wide open on his nose and was bleeding down his nose, and welcome to the main roster. But at the same time, there was no need for that, was there, Pete Dunne? I've just seen a comment, and I think this one could be the most spot on I've read in a long time. Oh, I will go one step further and say Pretty Deadly are the next New Age Outlaws. Do you know what? I think you might have a point there. It's quite interesting. If I look down like this, it looks like I'm actually reading the comment. Anyway, this is what happens when I don't go live ever before, and I find new things. Anyway, I'll go one step further and say Pretty Deadly is the next New Age Outlaws. Do you know what? Do you know what? You might be right. I'm going to tweet that while I'm live here. I think you're absolutely spot on. Let's tweet that out. Saint, if you're still here, what's your Twitter handle so that I can at you when I tweet this out? If you have got Twitter, if you haven't, please let me know, because I would like to at you on this to let everyone know that this was your idea and what you thought of it. So please put it down in the comments if you can, and let me know what it is. If you have got Twitter, if you haven't, then I'm just going to say that I made it up myself, and only the 4 people that are here will actually agree with me. So I'm going to take it. But Saint, if you're still here, please put your Twitter handle in the comments so I can copy and paste it and then tweet you at what you said as well. I thought that's an absolutely brilliant comment. Ed Fry's Pretty Deadly are great and a good addition, a different addition, absolutely, completely different styles. You've got the OC, who are like the group version, and then you've got the Viking Raiders, who I feel like they're going to use as like the demolishers, I would say. Street Profits, High Flyers. Fuck me, because someone else remember who else they've got on the tag division. That's 3. It's Pretty Deadly, the gorgeous ones. Yeah. I'll go further and say that next New Day is my. Yeah, I can see that. The New Day's a bit of a bit. I think if you needed a New Day, you needed one more member to be like the brute force of it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tweet out while I'm here. On the live, we have we all think Pretty Deadly will be a cross between the New Age Outlaws, New Day, and the New Day. Hashtag Smackdown. Hashtag. Right, if you want to go and retweet that and like that, that is currently on my Mark Talks WWE page, or just type in Mark Talks Wrestling. I've just tweeted that out on there as well. But yeah, that was great. That's a great point there, Saint. That was amazing. I'll give you all credit for that. So yeah, but we'll finish this off. Reach up, yeah, and then the bullet, and then they get pinned up to do the old bro punches in the chest. Keep Elton tied up while I can't fucking remember their names. It's really annoying me. Kit Wilson was then getting beaten, picks him up and does the spoiled milk. I love that name for a finisher, by the way. It is the most stupid but brilliant name that I'm going to go for. Spoiled milk. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. And they won. And I think that's great. And I love Pretty Deadly. They're going to go on to bigger and bigger things. And I'm loving every single second of that. Right, next we had Asuka versus Selena Vega. Selena Vega was at the back saying that she got all the love and support from the fans in Puerto Rico. And she wanted, I don't know why I say Puerto Rico like that, but I am saying Puerto Rico like that. Puerto Rico. Saying all the love and support. And she's going to be a baby face and trying to get all the love. And you can just tell, if you watch her TikToks, it is brilliant by how she goes, I'm now a baby face, and she tries to act still slightly heelish in the work she does off there as well. But one of the questions we had, and I know from Justin in the Tom Collyhue Discord, was saying that he was hoping that Asuka would help Selena and not bury her, and I don't think she did at all. Went for the 619 at one point, and I think one of the points that you can tell this Asuka is going to be fun as a heel is because when she had Selena on her shoulders and threw her on the table and she was on the floor before the outbreak, she was laughing. And the way she was laughing and flipping her arms around and doing all of that, I thought was a great touch. And I really liked it. I thought it was amazing to see, and I really enjoyed watching that. The way she was doing it. It didn't last long. No, Asuka then looking when she had Selena got the 619 and then doing the old Eddie. Right. Someone in the comments tell me, are they saying that when she does this, the Eddie Guerrero shake and then Meteora, Michael Cole every time says it's a nod to Eddie Guerrero, but isn't that a nod to Sasha Banks because she did the Meteora? And she used to do all of that as well. I thought that was a little bit more Sasha-y than it was Eddie. Anyway, how does Sasha Banks still find a way of getting on WWE even though it has been a year this week that Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out in WWE and everyone sucked up to them? And where are they now? One person's in Japan with still a shitty promo, and one did an Impact promo that was Naomi's promo that she used to do in WWE that bored my tits off when I watched it. They're not really much better off. Oh, okay. Saint Floyd has put a comment in, and so has Justin. Let's have a quick look at those comments. Yep. Kept Selena looking strong and talking about the Eddie. I feel like the shake is always Eddie. Yep, traded it. Did that on Impact last week too. Oh, okay. But wouldn't you say if you did the shake and then the Meteora, isn't that just Sasha Banks? Look, the shake is Eddie. Eddie does a shake before a frog splash. I don't think, or I can't remember Eddie Guerrero ever doing a Meteora. Also, am I even pronouncing that right? I'm gonna say I am because I'm English, I'm British. I say everything right. Anyway, back to this, and then she had her into this lock that I don't even know how to pronounce what she was doing, and sort of was laughing the whole time when Zelina verbally tapped out, I would say, and carried on. It just laughed, and then Bianca come out, tried to get in the face of Asuka. She walked away, and then you knew something was happening because the camera never panned away from Bianca. And then Asuka tried to get in the ring. Bianca then tried to attack her, grabbed her face, tried to spray, slightly missed it, and then we're back to normal. And I will make this prediction now. Actually, I'm going to write it. And this is my prediction. Asuka is going to be the new Raw Women's Champion on Smackdown. They really do need to find a way of sorting that fucking title situation out as well. They swap it. For the love of God, just fucking swap it. Please. I'm sick of going, welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. We have the Raw Women's Championship. Like, change it, please, for the love of God. Just change it. I know you don't want to, and I know you don't want to have a Becky Lynch Charlotte situation, but Bianca and Rhea are friends. Who gives a shit? I'm bored of it now. Right. That's my prediction. Asuka's going to win at Night of Champions. We will have a new champion. There's also talk that I've seen on the internet. I don't know the source. I need to find the source. Let's find the source before I talk about it. If it's who I think it is, I don't want to talk about it. But all we've got here is WrestleMania.co.uk is WWE could be turning Bianca Belair heel. The plan needs to go well. Someone's saying that she could be turning heel against Asuka. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But yeah, there has been somewhere around that they're going to be turning. Oh, we go. Sportskeeda. There have been rumors recently that Street Profits and Bianca Belair could possibly be turning heel later this year. I would like them to be a faction. I would like them to be a proper faction, and I would like them to turn properly heel. I would love that. Right, we've got a comment while I was looking at that. You could say the same thing about Roman Reigns. And the only way that I can justify-ish that it happening now compared to WrestleMania is one, they wanted Bianca to break Sasha Banks' record for how long she will hold that title, so Sasha Banks sort of gets erased from history, I would say. And you could also say that they didn't do it so that they can build Asuka up more, like the sort of the same way they're doing with Cody Rhodes right now, build him up a little bit more to do it. But at the same time, I agree with you. I think Asuka should have won WrestleMania. Yeah, 100%. Then we got into the Grace Waller effect. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have been looking forward to this for about a week. When it was announced last week that Grayson Waller was going to be doing his effect on Smackdown, I was like, and then after the match, I even said on this show last week, having AJ Styles, because they had a ding dong in NXT, but this was at the time when I wasn't really watching NXT. And as you guys know, if you watch the NXT show that I do, the review show, you know that I fully committed to doing the NXT review show so that I can get back into watching NXT full time, basically, and sort of getting into that mold and doing it. And I know that AJ Styles turned up, and I know that they had a ding dong, but I never really saw it because I just saw it on the internet. I never really watched it, but I know that they had a thing on NXT um, to go forward. But I did find it funny that Grayson Waller was really sucking up to AJ Styles at the start, saying, "You are the greatest. You are the one that says I need to be phenomenal for 20 years. You are the person that it happened, and you are the one that I needed to do it." And it didn't last very long because right at the end, after AJ Styles did his speech, he said that the new world champion is going to be um, Seth Rollins. And then at the end of that, I went, "Oh, after Night of Champions, we could have Grayson Waller versus um, AJ Styles." But as this is at the point I'm about to put here because I've just put it down, Karen Cross came out and said that he wants to go after AJ Styles. Whoever's writing Karrion Kross's stuff, can you please stop? Because it's shit. Karrion Kross in NXT was a fucking animal. Absolute fucking animal. And a beast. And then he went to Raw, and Vince McMahon decided to shove a helmet on him, and then he then got destroyed by Jeff Hardy. And then all of that just went, and then he got released, and then he come back, and it was all promising till they decided to put him with a man that doesn't want to sell, Drew McIntyre. And it just all gone to shit from there. He lost to Shinsuke, yet it was a very good match. But AJ Styles has just come back. And I like Cross, but it's going to annoy me. Talking of Drew McIntyre, there's a couple of news bits that has come out that I would like to slightly discuss or put out in the open air. According to One, at this point, Drew McIntyre's WWE return is basically more a creative issue regarding what they want, what he wants, and when they agree to it. But isn't that what Tom Colleyhue's been saying? That the reason why he's not coming back is because he wants to be in the world title option, when actually they don't think he will be. They need to turn him heel, and they need to make him a beast again for him to move forward. We have a couple of questions here. I'm getting Eater of World vibes from him, and I don't. Yeah, yeah. Like he walks. Like I love Scarlett, but uh, is Drew Galloway joining? No, he still has 10 months left on his contract. He won't be released early, and then he'll have a 90-day no compete clause. So the next time you'll see him is a year's time, and if the Combat Club is still going, then why is it still called the Blackpool Combat Club when William Regal isn't there anymore? Yep. Contract not up until Mania. Yeah, it's not happening. Also, according to where's the fucking button I have there? According to WrestleVotes, regarding the roster rankings, Bray Wyatt's name not listed, I was past the internal groupings. Name that approved alongside him in this unassigned categories that are still listed include Ciampa, Truth, Gable Stevenson, and Logan Paul. Bray Wyatt is still on payroll, however. So basically, what he's saying is they are all free agents. And until they come up, Ciampa's injured, and I think what we're getting with Ciampa will be in the way to give him a little bit of something there. The Truth will just do whatever he wants. Gable Stevenson needs to go to NXT. He needs to go with his brother and do something in NXT. Yeah, he's got all of this stuff that he's doing. Needs to go to NXT, and he needs to learn in that, and then bring him up. Yeah, you traded him to, you got him drafted to Raw. I think it was about 2 years ago. And he's done fuck all since then. And Logan Paul's Logan Paul. He'll turn up where he wants. Bray Wyatt, I have a feeling, and if they're going to do something with Bray Wyatt, he will be like a Brock Lesnar type, because Brock Lesnar's Brock Lesnar, but the Brock Lesnar deal where he can turn up wherever he wants and go up against whoever he wants. I don't think you can sold down Bray Wyatt to a certain show. I think start off with you should be on Raw, and then slowly go to Smackdown again in the future when he has plans. Another one that Fightful Wrestling. They're a lovely company. Dominic Mysterio, I have plans to do indie wrestling and go that route. I was blessed with the WWE position. And Mummy is blessed to have you too. So that is some of the news that has gone on today in a few days. If you want me to do a wrestling news show where all the news, I build it up into one thing and then we just rattle through them, I'm happy to do that if you guys want to see that and do that. I know Tom Colohue will be coming back next week or the week after. I think it's next week. Where he will be coming back and doing a lot more stuff. But if you want me to do one bit different, where he rattles off news that he has, but I find all news around what's been going on, get it all into one place, and we just do on a Sunday a review show of the week and see what goes on and happens. And we do that every Sunday. If that's something you guys want to do, put that in the comments, let me know, and then I will be able to put that together and go forward from there. Right, rant time. We had the debut of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, the NXT women's tag team. Bring them out, and I've got to find the graphic. I've got to find the graphic because I want to find the names of the people that are in that. Okay. Oh, there's a press conference after Night of Champions. Oh, for Night of Champions. Oh, they're doing it beforehand. Oh, okay. Sneaky, sneaky. Right. Where the fuck is the graphic? Have I completely gone past it? Women's tag titles. I've got to find it because I can't remember who is in the fucking thing. It's going to annoy the shit out of me now, and I'm not going to be able to find it anyway. So the reason why I'm extremely annoyed is we had Isla Dawn and Alba Fire come out and sort of say they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, and they are going to be going into Smackdown holding the tag titles. So then they bring up the Raw graphic saying that Liv Morgan is now injured and she cannot compete, and so that means that they had to relinquish the tag titles and go over again. But then you still have Raquel Rodriguez in the match. So if I'm right, we had Damage Control, Raquel Rodriguez and a mystery partner, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Who the fuck is the fourth tag team? I need to find who the fourth tag team is because it's going to annoy me really bad. Ah, here we go. Found it. So, for the NXT, so for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, it's going to be a fatal four-way. It's going to be Raquel Rodriguez and a mystery partner versus versus Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey versus Bayley and Io Sky because Dakota Kai is now injured long term. And Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Right. Someone make sense of this for me, okay? How is the NXT Women's Tag Titles champions not fucking in it? They're a fucking tag team. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, the Karen connection, as I like to call them. Yeah, but they don't win, so I don't understand why they're in it. Bayley and Io Sky look like they have a real bad romance going on right now, which everything's going wrong. Then you've got Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, who are gonna win it. But why is Raquel Rodriguez, if she can't compete with her own tag team person, why the fuck is she allowed to get someone else in? If you're WWE, right, and I understand that you need to slightly build Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, but you put them in. They have a fucking they have a title. They have the titles. Why not use this perfect opportunity to unify it? Or get Isla Dawn and Alba Fire to drop the tag titles and let them just be a tag team on SmackDown. Like, please. It frustrates me times with WWE. Like, the Grayson Waller effect for me was way too short than what it should have been. That should have been going on for a while because Grayson Waller, when he gets going, yeah, it's effective and yeah, it moves on for the future. I get that, I understand that. I completely agree with you on that. But for the love of God, you've got a man that is gold, liquid, can get into up to anyone's skin, and you've let him have 5 minutes. You then have a tag team that have a tag titles that haven't lost them, but then you don't put them in a tag team fucking match, which they should have been put in. Like, please, for the love of God, someone explain to me why that's not happening. We've got 3 comments while I've started my rant. Let's just have a look. I told you, I go. Yeah, I found it in the end. No clue. No. I understand why Chelsea and Sonia are in it because they're fun. When Chelsea Green comes on my screen, I'm very happy. But Sonia Deville annoys me. I don't know why. Just annoys me. But why is Raquel? Look, I love Raquel Rodriguez. I think she's amazing, and I think she is brilliant. She needs to work on her promo skills. Her mic skills need to improve a lot. But for the love of God, how is she still in the title match? She's lost it. Then put her towards the singles. Then build her up for the singles title. She's had about 5 partners in the space of 3 years. You can't keep changing women to women to women to women and then not build an actual tag team division when you actually have the fucking tag team champions that are there. We had Austin Theory come out. I'm going to drink now. And this is just blackcurrant. Anyway, Austin Theory come out. And we had him coming out saying that he would have won the world title if he was in the final, would have done better than what Bobby Lashley did. I love Austin Theory, and I think he's brilliant. But it's got to a point now where this tag team, where this title run is not going anywhere. And I feel bad for him at this point because we all know where this is going. Lashley or Sheamus are winning. If not, they have to put Austin Theory over, beating Sheamus and beating Lashley individually, singly, and clean. Because if you look at, people were talking about the world title tournament, why is Austin Theory included and Gunther isn't? Because Gunther is a fucking animal and you can't have him lose. Where with Austin Theory, you can. And that doesn't say great about Austin Theory at all. The only reason, and you can put this down to booking, and you can, but there's a point in a match where you look at Austin Theory and you go, fuck me, this man can go. This man can absolutely go, and it is amazing to see. And when he does go, it is brilliant. And I think he is amazing and great. And I think he is the future of WWE. But they need to find a way of making him look more real as a champion. So when he actually does lose, it becomes more effective instead of going, yeah, that was coming. That's the only thing that I see happening with that. So we'll see. Sheamus comes out, interrupts him, saying the only thing him and Sheamus have got in is that they both beat John Cena, but he beat John Cena 12 years ago when he was 13. How old is Austin Theory, by the way? Is he 25? He can't be 25. It'd help if I could fucking spell as well. My dyslexia does not want me to spell. Fuck me, he is 25. He's 5 years younger than me. No, he's not. He's 4 years younger than me. And his birthday is quite close to mine. I feel fucking old. Yep, Sheamus comes out, Bro kicks him in the face, and then walks off. And I want to say this, when we had the Pretty Deadly match as well, I put this in the comments as well, Sheamus and Wade Barrett on commentary was fucking brilliant, and I loved every single second of that. So yeah, brilliant. Right, next up we have the main event, the LWO versus the Usos. And I can tell you here, I wrote this down on Discord and tweeted it out, that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will cost. I missed a match. LA Knight and Boogs versus Street Profits. I knew I missed something. LA Knight and Boogs versus the Street Profits. LA Knight coming out to the ring saying he knows he could beat the Street Profits single-handedly, but he needs a tag team partner to do it. Boogs comes out, and you can just tell the second that man come out, Boogs come out, that LA Knight was going to turn on him quicker than you can say Jack Robinson. And what happens? Boogs had an amazing start to the match, by the way, doing the bench press, the curls on Angelo Dawkins, the military press thing on Montez Ford, tags him in. And I said this from the beginning, LA Knight at the end of this match will turn on Boogs because they're going to lose. And I think that also match was for the LWO versus the Usos, and we will get into that. And yeah, I did call it. I knew exactly what was going to happen. You could just tell the way LA Knight was walking down to that ring, his facial expressions, that he was going to turn on him. And the crowd were here for LA Knight. Let me talk to you. Yeah. I loved it in that. Anyway. LWO versus the Usos. I called this before the match even happened, that I said that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, yes, there's a chair moving, I've had to stretch my legs because they're dying, that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will cost the Usos the match in this because of what they did to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at the start of the night, which we will get into that. Which I found quite funny was before the match, the Usos come out, Paul Heyman was talking to the Usos and said, Roman Reigns will not be coming out to your match at all, as he is preparing for the match at Night of Champions. We then cut backstage to Roman Reigns actually watching a television properly. and watching their match, which is very intriguing because split is happening, but very slowly. Okay, now, what is the time? It's currently 4 in the morning in UK time. Which I thought was very, very interesting. Rey Mysterio is unbelievable for a man that's aged. Yeah, I don't even know how old he is anymore, but to be competing at his age, I think tag team division is probably the best way for him now. Him and Santos Escobar can really go as a tag team. Santos has got that it factor as well. And the way they go and the short spells that Rey Mysterio comes in and does it, it just looks phenomenal. Loved every single second. It was an epic, epic tag team match. I thought it was great how it all went. Yeah, looking up, and I will say this, and I wrote it, and did I write this down? Yeah, epic tag team match. And to be fair, LWO have been doing amazing as a tag team, even if they're not winning. Now that they've won, it makes it even better for them. The fans were loving it. This is awesome. Was chanted several times during it as well. A lot of people were liking it, loving it, going through it. I thought it was great. And then at the end, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens cost them a tag team titles, and the LWO pick up an amazing win for them that will grow them forward. So yeah, that was the end of SmackDown. We went backstage to Roman Reigns, which then they forgot that the crowd was still loud. Didn't hear what Roman said. Something was said. Solo was going to get up. Roman patted his knee, sat down, and then that was the end of SmackDown. So overall, out of 10, I'm going to rate that SmackDown. What would you guys rate SmackDown? I think I would rate SmackDown an 8 out of 10. I think if they let the Grayson Waller effect go longer and the women's tag team situation pissed me off, which for me is why I would give it an 8 out of 10. See, Justin. Great minds think alike. Beautiful people think the same. And we are pretty deadly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was my what I think of it as well. Yeah, 8 out of 10. That was the only two things I would say. I thought Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre actually looked like a great tag team in that match as well. Really projected them into the SmackDown audience of what they're going to be doing for the future. But overall, still pissed me off about the women's tag team. So, as that is it, what I want to do is, before we go anywhere, is a massive thank you to all of you that have stayed, joined, interacted, had a chat with me, done everything you can. Thank you guys ever so much. I farted as well. Thank you. I should have bent over then. I've got a real bad belly. Thank you guys ever so much for joining me. You guys have been amazing. I can't thank you all enough for all the love and support you guys have been doing. Don't forget to go and check out all of these above. I am still Jesus. All of these above. Wrong hand. I need to remember it's this hand because it's flipped. To go and follow me on all of these social media networks. Mark Talks Football or Mark Talks Wrestling is another one that I do. The same with Twitter, Mark Talks Sport, Mark Talks WWE, and also with Mark Talks Sport on Facebook group and Mark Talks Sport on Instagram. I am all there and we are good. So thank you guys ever so much. You have been absolutely amazing. I love you guys ever so much. I can't thank you guys enough. And with that, I will see you guys very, very soon for more wrestling content. And with that, peace.